Hey, this is Roman Mironov. And if you really want to learn how to level up your life, you should be listening to the Time to Shine Today podcast with my good friend, Scott Ferguson.
Time to Shine Today, Varsity Squad. It is Scott Ferguson, and we are at episode 173 with my really good friend, Roman Mironov. He is a relationship coach, kind of works a lot with men who are looking to save their relationship and really level up their life, learn to respond and not react, live life with no regrets, and live a life of discipline. So make sure, even if you're a female, please listen to this. Roman drops some serious knowledge nuggets on leveling up your life and leveling up relationships. So without further ado, here's my really good friend, relationship coach, Roman Mironov. Let's level up. Time to Shine Today podcast squad. It is Scott Ferguson. And if you want someone who can fight for relationships that are even beyond salvation, someone that can help clients open up their hearts and give them a feel of immeasurable love, this person will teach them acceptance so they can find happiness and inspiration in their partner or whatever area of life you're looking to level up, because that's what we're all about here at Time to Shine Today. My friend, Roman Mironov, who is a little bit north of the United States border there in Canada, is a Tony Robbins certified coach and trainer, and he helps people create amazing relationships and a happy lifestyle. So, Roman, thank you so much for coming on the Time to Shine Today podcast. Please introduce yourself to the Varsity Squad. But first, what is your favorite color and why?
Okay, first of all, thank you for having me, Scott. It's a privilege. And my favorite color is blue.
Blue.
I don't know. It's always been, maybe because I love the sea. I love the ocean.
Yeah, excellent. It's funny. I'm actually looking at the Atlantic Ocean right now myself. I'm a blue guy. Sometimes I'll say purple because, red and blue makes purple, and I have my red streaks that come out every once in a while. But it takes a minute for it to get there, man. So let's get into the origins, man. You like kind of starting up this coaching business, and squad, you got to go out and check out this guy's YouTube channel. He's got videos that I know a lot of coaches and stuff that would be pretty hesitant to put out there, but Roman puts them out there with authority. And he's great communicator. So give us the origins here, Roman.
Funny enough, I had been a translator for 14 years, a professional translator back in Russia. Wow. And then I was lucky enough to actually move to Canada last year. So I've been in Canada for 1 year and a half. And I decided to, change gears. And I shifted into coaching because this is something that I really enjoy. And I love helping people with self-development and romantic relationships in particular. So I went through a training program with Tony Robbins and I became a coach. And since April this year, I have been very actively coaching clients.
Nice. And why the niche of romantic relationships?
The niche is a result of my divorce, which happened 6 years ago.
Okay.
And at that point, I was so bad with women, I did not know a thing. I did not have a clue.
Okay.
So when I got divorced, I actually had to go through a lot of learning.
Sure.
So I learned a lot. I learned a lot of material, and I actually went out and tested everything on myself, like really? Making myself a guinea pig. Yeah. So,
is this all self-taught, Roman, or did you get help with a coach to help you level up through that?
At that point, it was all self-taught.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. And how did you educate yourself with kind of making yourself a guinea pig, like taking what processes or protocols and then try them on yourself? Where did you get that from?
Mostly YouTube and books.
Oh, good, man. I love your transparency, man. And you're standing tall and proud and owning it, you went through a pretty devastating time, I'm sure it was 6 years ago, to where you're at now, helping people that are going through that time to level up and understand that there's still happiness out there to be found, correct?
Exactly.
Awesome. So what do you think makes a great relationship coach?
Wow. There are quite a few qualities that go into that. One thing I think is being relatable, because when I tell people that I went through a divorce, they know that I know how they feel.
Exactly.
That helps them.
Sure.
Plus, as a relationship coach, I'm all about specifics. So oftentimes a client will come to me and they have a dilemma and they're very, very general about it. They don't know in which direction to go. And I always keep them going into specifics, defining a plan, creating actions, and doing those actions.
Got it.
This is the second important thing.
Okay. And you let them, let me ask, as a relationship coach, I mean, everybody's relationship is different, correct? I mean, they have, it could be a spouse cheated, or it could be, things are just in the bedroom, they're kind of falling apart, if you will. So, like, do you help them as a coach, guide them, or more tell them to find what's going to help them the most?
Yeah, that's a very good question, because a lot of people, they come for guidance.
Right.
But my goal as a coach is to understand what they want, find clarity for that,
okay,
and define the actions for themselves. I don't want them to follow my advice. I want them to find things that work for themselves.
Wow. That is, to me, and I've been coaching 20 years, that is exactly how I would have answered that question. You help them find their results or their solutions by kind of understanding what they want, give them clarity, and then they kind of come to the lack of a better term, a conclusion, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So what is some of your secret sauce then, as you're starting to bring a client on, if you don't mind sharing, that you help them find their blind spots?
I take a lot of time asking them a lot of questions. And I try to, first of all, I have a list of questions that I know help. Like questions, let's say, what are you not saying that needs to be said? Or what are you not hearing that needs to be heard?
Okay.
Or what are you just not saying?
Gotcha.
These types of questions.
Yep.
Plus questions that I, customize based on the client situation.
Right. Do you have them fill out kind of an intake form before you even will consider working with them, or what's your process, Roman?
No, I have an enrollment session, which is free. And during
the
that
clarity session, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Clarity session.
Got it. Okay.
I take a lot of notes during that session. That's the basis.
Nice. So if you're starting to work with somebody, or you're still in that discovery process, Roman, is there any good question that you wish they would ask you but never do?
Wow. There probably is.
I would ask you about your fails, to be honest with you. And the one thing about you is you're living your legacy, and you can be relatable, like you just said. You be relatable and be specific is what you just said. So I, as myself, I'd be like, so you're going to tell me that you can help me level up my romantic life, but what about you? Where have you saw? So, that's what I would ask you, but there's a plethora of different questions. I like to ask coaches that, as well. I would like to tell my clients about my failures, because they can see you're relatable, exact words that you would use. Fantastic, man. I love that. So if I am out at a networking event or press and flash meeting people, or even virtually, what am I listening for, Roman, when I'm talking to somebody that would make them a good prospect, referral, or connection for you?
I think, just in general, lots of people have issues in their relationships and things they could work on, they can improve.
Mm-hmm.
Because oftentimes we feel that actually we already have the skills for having a great relationship in our life. And this is quite often not true. So
right.
This makes basically everyone a good prospect.
Okay.
And I prefer to work with first men who want to save their marriage, okay, or just go through a breakup, because oftentimes with men, when they come to me, they come because their wife already pushed them out of the house.
Okay.
Or just wants to get a divorce. So that's quite late. And I love to help women who want to actually save the marriage, because I feel that women have a little bit more potential for saving a marriage
Gotcha. So that's true, though. By the way, they do hold a lot of the cards the women do. So how does business come to you? Because it's a niche that people, there's a lot of ego that they've got to set aside before they come to you. How are people finding you?
Most of my clients, they come through Instagram.
Okay.
So I create tests for them.
Okay.
And they take those tests. They're interested about taking for those tests.
Okay.
And I just tell them, thank you for taking the test. And you can learn more about the results of the test by talking to me, by having a free clarity session.
Love it. I love it. I'm looking at your Instagram right now. What are you afraid of in your intimate relationship? I love it. I love that. That's very cool. So if you, I know you're from Russia, but have you heard of the movie Back to the Future?
Of course. I love it.
Okay. May I ask your age, Roman?
I'm 38.
Wow. And if you're watching on YouTube or any of my replays, he looks like a kid. So I can actually answer this question or ask him this question. But let's get in that DeLorean with Marty McFly. Let's go back to the 23-year-old Roman. What kind of knowledge nuggets, we call them knowledge nuggets here at Time to Shine today. What kind of knowledge nuggets are you dropping on the 23-year-old Roman to maybe help him level up, shorten the learning curve, or blast through?
Work and life balance. That's one thing.
Okay.
The second thing is treat your marriage and treat your wife the way she deserves. I mean, like, love her unconditionally. Okay. And don't think that you have the relationship skills by the default. No, learn them. You need to learn them.
Wow.
You need to acquire those skills.
Wow. Hold on. I'm taking notes, brother. Sorry. Okay. You know, that's fantastic. That is a huge knowledge nugget. So, Roman, how do you want your dash remembered? That little line in between your incarnation date and your expiration date, your life date and death date. How do you want Roman's dash remembered? Maybe your legacy or your epitaph.
He loved life.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
That's easy, man. That's awesome. That's fantastic. So, Roman, let's take out anything electronical, laptops, phones, tablets, and also don't answer with oxygen, sunlight, or any of those other common answers. But what are three things that you cannot live without?
Well, the first, of course, love. Unconditional love, because I believe this is what everything the universe revolves around. It's so important. The second thing is my son, who is back in Russia. Oh, okay. And the third thing is, funny enough, it's my bike.
There you go.
I wouldn't be able to live without it.
I mean, if you're watching YouTube, this guy's pretty well put together. I saw on Twitter, are you like a long distance runner too? Or what do you do, cross country or something? Because I saw on Twitter, there's a runner, looks like you're ready to run or something like that. So, but you obviously take care of yourself. You check him out on Instagram or YouTube or anywhere, you can see that Roman does take care of himself. So I'm sure the bike comes in with that. A lot of good exercise, right? Fantastic. Yeah. So Roman, what's one thing you know for sure?
I'm going to be boring, but again, it's love.
No, that's fine. No, I love that. I believe in it too, brother. It's people want to oversimplify stuff. I call it dumbing it down. That it's like, listen, man, love. If you put love into anything and everything, whether it's opening the door for somebody or anything, just smiling, man. That's the thing. I love to make people smile, and pay that forward. That's awesome. So that's
exactly.
Awesome. So as we wind things down just a little bit here, Roman, we're going to do our leveling up lightning round. Okay. And you and I could talk 15, 20 minutes on each one of these questions, but you got 5 seconds to answer with no explanations. Ready to, and they all can be answered that way. So you ready to rock?
Okay.
Awesome, brother. So Roman, what is the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
Develop your discipline.
Wow, that's awesome. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
Meditation.
Love it.
100%.
Other than your own website, RomanMironov.com, Or, of course, timetoshinetoday.com, my shameless plug. What's another website that you go to that you use to level up?
Wikipedia. I love it.
That crazy how that's just morphed into what it is, but it's the truth. Not the book you're reading now or the flavor of the month. If I'm in my doldrums, I'm just not feeling right. You're like, hey, Fergie, read this book. What is that book?
The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah, Covey, baby.
Stephen Covey.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Roman, when you're texting, what is your most commonly used emoji?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Right on. So, physical-wise, not wisdom-wise or anything like that. Physical, what age would you stay if you could stay it for the rest of your life and still continue to learn and gain wisdom? Physically, what age would it be?
Around 40, I guess.
40? Very cool. You're not even there yet. So you're right there. Awesome. So what's your favorite charity and or organization you like to give your time and or money to?
It's a local Russian organization back in my native city.
Okay. What does it have to do with?
It just helps the kids.
Nice. Good for you, Rome. I appreciate you saying that, man. Last question. What is the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
Oh, for me, it's 90s because I'm into punk and hardcore.
My man, I love it. Who's your punk band?
My favorite is Bad Religion, of course.
Really? Nice, man. That's awesome. So, Roman, what's your definition of a life well lived?
Well, obviously having no regrets because you actually made an effort to live your life intentionally. So not just by, floundering around, but by having a plan and sticking to the plan, no matter how it goes, but just really having the plan.
Love it. Roman, how can we find you, brother?
My website is RomanMironov.com, spelled as RomanMironov.com. Go to the contact tab, hit me through that tab, and for a free clarity session. And make sure to mention that you're coming off Scott's podcast, The Time to Shine, and I will give you a 30% discount if you mention that.
Excellent. You're going to do that for like 3 listeners, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, trust me, I have people that reach out, and if you're listening, you've reached out to me, especially regarding relationship leveling up. So make sure you reach out to me so I can put you in touch with my good friend Roman, who he was a professional translator, which is fantastic. I mean, you never really met anybody that did that professionally. That's awesome. He's going to remind you to be relatable and be specific. He's a coach that understands, wants, provides clarity, and will help you find your own solution. He's not going to tell you what to do. He's going to get you there. If you're a man, he works with women also, but if you're a man and you want to save your relationship or you're going through a breakup, reach out to me so I can personally put you in touch with my friend Roman, who believes in a really good work-life balance. And he's going to remind you also to treat your relationships with unconditional love. And it doesn't matter what your relationship is with your loved one, your spouse, or anything on this earth. Treat it with love. And he's a person that will be reminded to love life. And relationship skills are not default. You have got to learn and level up on a daily basis and still absorb. Don't think you know it all, especially when it comes to relationships, because that'll be the first thing that will go stale. He's going to remind you to develop discipline because that is what he does to level up. And he lives his life with no regrets. He lives intentionally, and he loves. And Roman, you earned your varsity letter here. You are leveling up your health. You're leveling up your wealth. You're leveling up other people. I'm humbled and grateful immensely that you came on the show and spilled these fantastic knowledge nuggets. And I hope to do some collaborations with you in the future, my friend.
Thank you so much, Scott. It's been fantastic. Thank you.
Awesome. Take care. Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine Today podcast. Proudly brought to you by Sutter & Nugent Real Estate Excellence, who can be reached at 561-249-7266 and online at www.sutterandnugent.com. If you are a business owner or professional who would like to be interviewed on Time to Shine Today, please visit timetoshinetoday.com/guest. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts.
There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also there you will see our recommended resources. We hope that you will support our show by supporting them. If you like what you've been listening to, it'd be great if you could just give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, let's level up. It's our time to shine.